What's up guys, welcome to a new Kengan video. Today I'm going over one of the most popular characters of all time, our Thai god of war, Gaolang, in the same format as my previous Ryan, Kanoh and Julius videos. Hope you enjoy, and if you do, make sure to subscribe and check out the other stuff in the description. Now, let's begin. As always, let's start with what he showcased in Kengan Ashura, but take note, Gaolang also has a dedicated chapter in the prequel Kengan 0, so I'll talk about that before the Kengan Ashura Annihilation Tournament. He stands at 187 centimeters for his height and weighs in at 91 kilograms for his weight. This is in both Kengan Ashura and Kengan Manga, and he's also known as the current heavyweight boxing champion and the personal bodyguard of Rama XIII, the current ruler of Thailand. We learned that before he became a boxer, he was a Muay Thai fighter and had a match with a younger Sorpang. He was not able to knock out Sorpang during this fight, but came out on top due to winning by points. His fight in Kengan 0 was against this man, someone who spent 15 years of his life devoted to wrestling. His plan was based around having resilience way over boxers, and once he grapples Gaolang, he would win, implying that Gaolang's punches can't or couldn't get past his toughness, and Gaolang just destroys him with 15 rapid jabs. Now onto his Kengan Ashura stuff, starting with his round 1 fight against Canada, or better known as Weak Body Dude. Before the fight begins, we have Gaolang being a savage, talking some shit about these four, implying that he's on a whole another level. Right away we learn that he has the fastest jabs out of all boxers, being able to throw 13 in a single breath. However, this is with gloves on. As we see in Kengan 0 and during this first fight, he can throw 15 in a single breath, which is insane. This technique is also labelled as the Flash. The fight begins with Gaolang dominating, landing multiple jabs and pretty much countering everything, even the first takedown attempt. It's stated that Gaolang has a perfect game plan to deal with submissions, even when Canada catches Gaolang with a takedown due to his superhuman analytical prowess, making him one of the best foresight users in the story. Combined with plenty of prep time, Gaolang is able to throw punches from an unstable position and counter everything he's able to do. He's also able to do this with decent power. Gaolang was able to win without really taking any damage, while showcasing his impressive striking power with this finishing blow. Now we have his round 2 fight against Kanoh Agito. As we know, the fight begins with Kanoh taking the same stance as Gaolang, with the aim of defeating him at boxing, and we see that Kanoh actually studied Gaolang's style. Regardless of the prep time Kanoh had to, defeat Gaolang in his own style, Gaolang still dominated in boxing. The beginning of the fight was so one-sided that Gaolang caused Kanoh to black out for a second. Gaolang demonstrated that his boxing skill is that advanced that he has the ability to seal off everything but boxing once it began, and that is against someone like Kanoh, who has the most adaptation in the series. Gaolang is able to do this by reading Kanoh. Gaolang immediately circles around him, stopping the kick before it happens. This way of fighting, alongside other examples from this fight and later stuff in Kengan and Manga, is the basis of the argument of Gaolang having the ability to use foresight. Gaolang caused Kanoh to evolve, and when knocked to the ground by a formless Kanoh, Gaolang was able to recover instantly even when being knocked down multiple times. Gaolang was able to stay dominating Kanoh by pulling out his Muay Thai in combination with boxing, which puts Gaolang at the pinnacle of striking in the Kenganverse, demonstrating that with blows alone he can outclass a monster like Kanoh. He also demonstrated his tankiness by surviving multiple blows from Kanoh, and this one to the head, which even shocks Okubo, who was knocked out by a similar blow, alongside various other characters like Waka and Hatsumi. But the reasoning for this is explained that Gaolang's blows are too much for even Kanoh's indestructible, which resulted in an accumulated amount of damage on Kanoh, which in turn reduced his striking power. But even with that, Gaolang's able to tank multiple more attacks to the face, so you can even say he's quite a bit above Okubo in raw tankiness. This is the start of what the title suggests, Gaolang being unlucky by punching the elbow of Kanoh, in turn shattering his fist. However, at this point in the fight, it was a matter of life or death for both characters, so he still continues to fight and throw punches with that same fist, surviving another blow to the face. However, Kanoh evolved again and used a similar fighting style that Okubo just used on him in the round prior, and ended the fight. He did this by going for a grapple, slam and then kick to finally defeat Gaolang. Then Kanoh states as he's walking away that Gaolang is the most powerful person he has faced before that point in his life. And an argument can even be made that if Gaolang didn't get unlucky and break his fist thanks to Kanoh's elbow, he may have actually defeated round 2 Kanoh, but as we know, Kanoh gets a lot stronger as the tournament goes on. Later in the tournament, it's also stated that Gaolang stands at the pinnacle of striking and possesses the fastest blows, which adds even more to the overall, greatness of Gaolang. He also has a minor role during the Guardian invasion, but nothing of importance happened, for Gaolang at least, due to his hand being broken. Now, onto what he showcased in Kengan Omega, with his Purgatory Fly against Carlos Medel, the only fighter who's ranked above Gaolang in boxing on the pound for pound rating. Right as the fight begins, Carlos demonstrates his insane speed, making him already one of the fastest in the verse. However, Gaolang is still able to keep up, demonstrating his own insane speed. Kanoh also states during that exchange that Gaolang has improved. Regardless of the speed advantage Carlos had, Gaolang was able to read him by figuring out the pattern of his motions, another example that can be used to argue Gaolang has foresight. During the Kengan Ashura to Omega time skip of 2 years, Gaolang worked on repairing his fist that was destroyed by Kanoh in the Kengan Ashura Annihilation Tournament, resulting in an unbreakable divine fist due to his crazy training. He was also fine in taking on Carlos when he pulled out his Kapora while only using boxing, and then when he pulled out his Mortai as well, he absolutely dominated Carlos, demonstrating even more so that he's still at the peak of the verse when it comes to striking. However, as Gaolang was about to win with his new God Glow punch, which is quite powerful, he got unlucky again and got finessed by Carlos, resulting in a ring out and Carlos winning due to purgatory rules. So that's a big feels bad to our unlucky boy Gaolang. In short, Gaolang is the best striker in the verse, possessing speed to keep up with the likes of Carlos and power to damage Kanoh through his indestructible, alongside most likely possessing foresight and various counters for grapplers, but sadly our boy is unlucky. I do believe in the future we may get another tournament and see what Gaolang's truly capable of now in Kengan Omega, maybe having a rematch against Kanoh or destroying some other top tier fighters in the Kenganverse, but if I'm being honest, by the end of the Purgatory tournament, I don't think Gaolang will still be a top tier due to the insane amount of power-ups other characters will most likely possess, and how Gaolang will be left behind a little bit, but will most likely get back to the top tier once we get to see more of him in Kengan Omega. And yep, that's pretty much everything for today's video. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, and as always, shout out to the people who support the channel via the Patreon, very cool people. But yep, that's it guys, peace.